Hello friends, in this session we are going to see about Java Swings, which is mostly used for a better user interface. Okay, so for much more appealing. Okay, so previously before Swing, only AWT, that is Abstract Windowing Toolkit, was available. Okay, but after Java 2, Swing was introduced and it also extends the AWT, and it is under the package javax.swing. So if you look at swings are more attractive user interface than before, including event listeners. Okay, so event listeners is an important part of any UI. So a typical GUI component would be something like this, like a button or a J button in Swing. So it will have its own properties and methods and events to handle with. So properties can be like color, its appearance and all. Okay, so when you're actually using a GUI component, typically you will create an object and then configure it either by properties or by methods, but always methods configuration is always preferred. Then it need to be fit in a region of the screen, like in a panel. Then finally it can have event listeners, like what should happen if you press that button. Okay, so that is the event handler for it. So likewise there will be a lot more event handlers. So this is how it will be built sequentially in order. So if you look at the right hand side, like you can see the flow, right? So the listeners will be added to the components, okay, like the J button, okay, which will then be added to the J panel, which will again then be added to the J frame. So it is top to bottom sequence for building up. Okay, so this is how the typical building will be. So if you actually look at the internal structure, it will be something like this. So it is very similar to the previous diagram we had seen. So if you visualize in coding, it will look something like this. First a frame is created, then a panel, and then a J button is created and then added to that panel that is already created. Then that panel is added to the overall frame, so which is then finally shown to be viewed by the user. Okay, so this is the typical one. So let's see that in a programming code. Okay, so let's now create a new project for our purpose. Okay, so let's create a new project, new Java project, test GUI. Let's give it as test GUI. Actually it is not like this. So we need to create a project with the wizard. Okay, so even in wizard it's not coming up. So let's try it differently. Okay, so new, it should be the other option, new other. So now this is the application window that we needed. So package name GUI, name as let's first swing. So automatically the code is generated. So this Windows Builder plugin can be easily downloadable and you can install it on your own. Okay, very simple. So for that go to install new software, then you need to you can Google search it to download. So you can actually search it as Windows Builder. So Windows Builder Eclipse download. So once you get in, uh, copy this particular URL from the site, okay, and then when you go here, add the name, and then it's just a simple next, okay. It's very simple to install. It's not a rocket science. So then it gives you a design view. So that's the beauty of it here. So you can actually play around and drag it to understand what is actually happening, okay. So you can observe by dragging some components like J button. So when you click it, it will actually generate the code. So here, if you look at it, the first frame is first created, and then it has set boundaries for it. Then it created a panel, and then it created a J button, so that we had dragged create, right? So let's give it as click me. So inside that action performed, let's just print something, okay, with system.out.println. So let's just print it as hey Mr. how are you, okay. So let's correct that, and then let's run it and see, okay. Oh yes, a new window with a click me button has appeared. So when you click on it, that display text is printed. Hey Mr. how are you. They have actually mentioned border layout, right? So that is actually a layout to position the buttons or the guide components, okay. So there are a lot more types are here, like null layout, flow layout, and then grid layout, and then grid bag layout, and then card layout, and then finally our border layout. So likewise, you can actually explore with different components, different event listeners, okay. So that is when you learn. So thank you friends, see you soon, bye.